our sons. Some of them are coming home every day to return to civilian life. Their war job ended because of sufficient war service points, age, or disabilities. They must be thoroughly checked physically. They must leave with a full knowledge of all the rights and benefits a grateful government plans for the lads of the Army, Navy, all the services. In this building, our fighting men are being briefed. Now they pour out. They've just been briefed for the last time, not for bombs away over Tokyo, but last instructions for a full life at home. Every returnee and his dependents should have copies of this booklet. It tells of disability pensions, deferment or adjustment of taxes, adjustment allowances, special provisions for jobs for dependents, Social Security benefits, allowances for families of war prisoners, what they can do about their National Service Life Insurance policy. Our sons, who shook hands with death in Belgium, who've seen their buddies machine-gunned at Leyte, or their arms shot off at Lausanne. There are questions in the minds of these boys as they come home. Has Mark Grant been forgotten? Will Harry Flynn be able to get his old job back again? Will Dick Harmon be able to get a new and better job now that he has learned a new vocation in the Army? What are their chances? Congress, representing all of us, enacted several measures. The GI Bill of Rights and others with longer names. The administration of veterans' aids was placed in capable, responsible hands. The Veterans Administration, Selective Service, United States Employment Service, Civil Service, and your local draft board, which keeps accurate and detailed records of each veteran. These boards are the first step to a return to civilian life. This is really a blitz on the moth, who from now on, we hope, will be the only unemployed. Overalls or tweeds, it'll be good to get back into them. Watch out, Dick. Hold your breath. What a chest. On K rations, too. Looks like some of that mustering out pay will go for some new clothes. Last war, it was a bonus. Years later. This time, it's cash in hand. Don't forget that service button, Dick. That's your badge of honor, son. It shows an honorable discharge from this man's army. Now, let's head for your old draft board. Or the one nearest your new home. That's where you check in when you come home. That's where you get your new registration and classification cards. Hey, you gotta break that habit. More than 6,400 draft boards are operating in these United States, composed of neighbors and friends. These volunteer workers are building the strongest Army and Navy in the world and have mobilized themselves to help solve the problems of the returning veterans of all services, men and women. Here, in this typical Selective Service local board, the rights of the GIs will be jealously guarded. Attached to these boards are more than 17,000 reemployment committeemen. Reemployment means jobs. Jobs mean that at least one debt can be repaid to the Marks, Dicks, and Harrys of the services. This time, we hope it'll be different. But everyone must work together. Management, labor, citizens, and veterans.
You want your old job back again, don't you? Well, let's see. You worked there for 3 years. Our clerk will be glad to assist you in writing a letter to your former employer, notifying him that you request your old job again. They want you back, but if there are any complications, just let us know.
Thank you. There's been an interview appointment made for you with Mr. Brown at the Veterans Administration.
Fine.
Now, here's your appointment card giving the address, the time, and the date for the appointment. Now, keep us posted, will you?
I sure will. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes. Yes, he used to be an accountant, but he learned mechanical engineering in the service. Seems to know his stuff. Okay, 11 o'clock tomorrow. See Mr. George, United States Employment Service Office. on Orange Drive.
The United States Employment Service. Here, too, veterans are given priority in new jobs. War production jobs, or any particular type of work they want. This is the main job clearinghouse. Dick will be well taken care of. We'll learn about state and federal unemployment compensation, and where to go for information concerning other rights and benefits to which he may be entitled. The Veterans Administration. Here, Mark knows he can get help on his problems. If he needs hospitalization, or under certain conditions, if he isn't fed up on drilling, he can get some done by an expert. All he has to do is open his mouth. Speaking of education, if he meets the necessary standards, he can go to high school or college, public or private. He can take a business course or advanced professional work. Scores of educational courses are open with tuition and living expenses paid. The hopes of our lawmakers are coming true. Veterans Aid and the GI Bill are functioning. Perhaps he wants to buy a home, a farm where things are peaceful, or go into business. Uncle Sam will guarantee a portion of his loan up to $2,000 if he can qualify. And no one's going to put anything over on him, because...
Before we proceed with this case, I wish to state that it has come to the attention of this court that many people have tried to take advantage of our servicemen by bringing lawsuits for debt collections. Landowners have tried to repossess property. Dealers have tried to repossess automobiles. The Soldiers and Sailors Civil Relief Act suspends the enforcement of certain liabilities.
Legal counsel is available at no cost. Some of our boys won't be walking back, won't be able to. But we're bringing them back as gently as a baby in a carriage. You don't have to warn these men to take it easy or watch out. They're handling guys like themselves, and they're as tender as kindergarten nurses. Yes, Mac's home again. But he left an arm on Okinawa.
Ain't gonna be any jobs for guys like me.
What do you mean, guys like you, fella? We're all guys, together. In Navy and Army hospitals like this, the road back to health and rehabilitation has begun. Uncle Sam wants to be able to look disabled veterans straight in the eye without flinching. Get those kinks out. No baseball Charlie horses these. Maybe it came from being on the receiving end of a grenade or being a backstop for a mortar shell. It takes plenty of guts to do what these men are doing, but it took plenty of guts to do what they did, from Berlin to Tokyo. Military hospitals have instituted convalescent training, covering trades, languages, sciences, mathematics, law, history, things some of them never knew before. They're catching up in education, being reconditioned for other tasks. This is merely one phase of an intensive overall program. Mac used to run a drill press. Maybe he'd rather learn radio or any of 1,000 other things. He can take up to 4 years of vocational training at the proper school, depending upon length of service, with tuition paid and with an increased pension. Foreign markets are opening all over the world. We must learn to speak the language of our newfound friends across the seas, now just a plane's jump away. Michigan car manufacturers have opened their doors to the disabled. Hundreds of other industries and the government want to give jobs to veterans, important, well-paying jobs. Industry and civil service are meeting this test. There are 30,207 different apprentice training programs in operation. Men are paid while learning. Veterans who want jobs in the federal government receive preference in civil service examinations. Extra preference is given the disabled. Veterans who formerly worked for the government can get their jobs back. Well, it's greetings again. These boards, working in cooperation with 1,500 employment offices, are Veterans Information Centers. Remember, employers are contacting their nearest draft boards and United States Employment Service offices, registering requests for ex-servicemen. Many communities are organizing veteran service centers and committees to assist veterans. These committees represent all elements of a community. Businessmen, manufacturers, merchants, theater men, and others who will cooperate with the government agencies. And for what? So that Dick won't think it was all a waste of time. So that Harry will get his old job back again. And so Mark will find he is not the forgotten man. So this lad won't say, guys like me ain't got a chance. So that every mother's son and every mother's daughter who went to war will realize they did not fight in vain.